So what a treat to speak at tonight's dinner. I did prepare my words because when you give the podium to an elementary school principal with a captive audience, you never know what's going to happen. So, as Beth and Josh said, I am Carla Woods Cretaro, and I'm a proud member of the Harvard-Westlake class of 1994. It's actually quite a coincidence that I had a chance to reflect on what Harvard-Westlake has meant to me and for my life, because I will soon be starting that middle school selection process for my own son, Maxwell, so school is very much on my mind. Most of what I'm looking for in a school is all that Harvard-Westlake offered me when I was a child. As parents, we want everything for our children, all of the best. When we send them to school, we want them to learn, earn high grades, play on athletic teams, make good friends, learn to make the right choices, and just to have that opportunity to select the best college and university at the end of their journey. But isn't it much more than that? It's not just learning, but learning to learn outside of the box, learning to work through problems and come up with creative solutions, learning to not just accept an answer just because your teacher says so, but because you know it's true, learning to know when to push back and ask questions if you have a difference of opinion. And Harvard-Westlake offered all of those learning opportunities for me and much more. I think about sitting in a senior English class and reading 100 Years of Solitude, and then turning around the very next period and having a similar conversation in my Spanish class. In 7th grade, being given an egg and saying, figure out a way to make this not crack after it falls for 3 stories. Maybe human anatomy and physiology, developing muscle endurance experiments. Or perhaps traveling in the school bus with Mr. Commons around Los Angeles as the boys' varsity soccer team manager. And maybe that's not the learning experience my father had. I had a great time all the same. But seriously, when I think about my time at Harvard-Westlake, I really begin to remember coming into my own self as a student, as a person, as a woman, developing confidence, developing a voice, and grasping knowledge to really make a difference in this world, being exposed to a variety of topics, being given the opportunity to follow my interests wherever they might lead me, all of which prepared me to be the leader I am today. And that's just what happens inside the classroom. So much more happens during those free periods, study groups, social gatherings. And it's because we're surrounded by our peers that love to do the same thing. We all wanted to do well. We all wanted to do our best. And my closest friends to this day, I met right here on the first day of school. And actually, Abby Harris, who's in this auditorium, there she is the godmother to my youngest son, Cameron. So my crew is intact, and we very much love our experience here at Harvard-Westlake. You know, sometimes we forget what's an important place schools are, and Harvard-Westlake is so much more than the best school in Los Angeles. It's an incubator for great minds. I started in 7th grade as this shy little girl, I think interviewed by Miss Gregory. And, you know, somehow, through my experience, blossomed into a confident woman. And I am now a school administrator, and I witness the gift of a great education on a daily basis as I walk through my classrooms. And the gift of financial aid allowed me to receive the best education Los Angeles can offer, right here at Harvard-Westlake. And for that, I am forever grateful. Through generous donations, I have the opportunity to be in a place to touch the minds of 475 young people on a daily basis, giving them a great education to prepare them for whatever they choose to do. And thank you for opening the door of possibility to students just like me each and every year.